The cost of a movie is, on the surface, pretty cut and dry. You've got money spent on sets, travel, the actual filming, actors, editing, and behind-the-scenes things like music, costumes, food, and so on. All of this is needed to see a film out to completion, but every now and again a movie, its studio, or even its stars can decide to spend a ridiculous sum adding completely pointless or inconsequential things. Whether a stupid prop, an insane marketing campaign, an extravagant world premiere, or just a t-shirt, I'm Ewan, you're watching Whatculture, and here are 10 insane things you won't believe movies spent money on. Number 10. A replica London Eye, A Knight's Tale, $500,000. Partway through A Knight's Tale, when the unlikely group of protagonists head to the jousting championship in London, audiences are treated to a lovely aerial view of the city. The shot comes complete with a bizarre, easy-to-miss reconstruction of the modern London Eye, made to look both similar to the real eye and in keeping with the medieval aesthetic of the movie. Apparently, the replica eye was made out of wood and thrown in by the filmmakers as a kind of joke. A joke that cost the movie $500,000. Bloody hell. Given how hard it is to see the overpriced prop and how much it set the movie's budget back, it's fair to say the joke didn't really work and it was not money well spent. Number 9. The Premiere, Pearl Harbor, $5 million. Pearl Harbor is an awful wartime romance drama about the December 7th attack and a doomed love triangle. Directed by Michael Bay, the film is a no-holds-barred disaster with few redeeming qualities. That being said, it is a Bay picture, so it does offer up some brief visual treats and full-on leave-your-brain-at-the-door action. In keeping with the film's over-the-top effects and narrative, the official premiere of the movie took place on an 100,000-ton aircraft carrier in the Hawaiian Naval Base. Around 2,000 guests were present, and the after-party is said to have cost around $5 million, including $700,000 on fireworks and an unknown amount on organizing a display of old aircraft and Black Hawk helicopters. Weird. Number 8. Shooting with digital and film cameras. The Room. Cost unknown. The making of the 2003 cult disaster piece The Room is the stuff of Hollywood legend. Star Tommy Wiseau acted as not just a performer on the picture, but also as director, producer, writer, and executive producer. And the result is something so outrageous, it has to be seen to be believed. During production, in keeping with the film's sheer randomness, Wiseau made the bizarre decision to shoot the picture using both 35mm film and HD digital cameras. According to Wiseau, he did this to give himself more options during post-production. In the end, none of the digital footage made it into the film, and according to insiders, the two-camera approach was abandoned halfway through filming. How much this set production back is not yet known, but considering the nonsensical film somehow managed to cost $6 million to make, it's fair to say it wasn't a cheap mistake. It was a rhyme. Number 7. Robert Downey Jr.'s crazy payday. Spider-Man Homecoming, $10 million. As the leading figure of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's always been fair to assume that RDJ has received the biggest paychecks during his stint as Tony Stark. He helped start the franchise after all, and is top billed in every single Avengers event. For example, it was reported for his work on Avengers Endgame, the actor banked a ludicrous $75 million. That's a lot of cheddar. But that's slightly more justifiable than the money he received for his brief role in Spider-Man Homecoming. A great movie with a fab story and a perfectly cast Tom Holland, Homecoming sees Iron Man turn up on screen for a total of just under 15 minutes, mentoring Peter Parker as he tries his hand at being a big-time hero. To put this into perspective, Tom Holland made $500,000 for his role, and whilst this is in keeping with the MCU's payments to actors for their first solo film, but that's a lot of money for a supporting role. Number 6. CGI dog poo. John Wick, $5,000. John Wick is a slick, intelligent, and unique action film that hits all the right notes, and at a budget of only $25 million, it ushered in a new chapter to Keanu Reeves' career and spawned a franchise which I personally love to bits. But that doesn't mean it's totally spotless. In the scene where a retired Wick takes his new dog out to do his business, the camera gives the audience a quick but unnecessary shot of the pet's leavings. It's fair to assume, if you even thought about it at all, that the poop shown on screen was either fake or the real deal, but you'd be wrong. No, it wasn't plastic or from the dog performer themselves, it was actually a $5 grand CGI stinker. 5 smackaroos on poop. Oh lordy. Number 5. The floating set. Waterworld. $25 million. Originally seen as one of Hollywood's biggest box office bombs, at least before DVD sales came along and saved it slightly, Waterworld was the most expensive movie ever made when it was released back in 1995. Starring Kevin Costner as an unnamed drifter in a world where land has been submerged by water thanks to the melting of the polar ice caps, the film is a mostly hit-and-miss affair that fails to live up to its narrative potential. The original cost of the movie was set at $100 million, though by the time it was finally completed, this figure had inflated to $175 million. One of the most expensive aspects of the film came in the form of the set, an epic floating expanse where most of the movie was filmed off the coast of Hawaii. The floating set cost around $25 million, made up of steel and weighing over 1,000 tons. The film's budget wasn't held by the costs of travel and the damage and shutdown caused by a brief hurricane, but it's most definitely the set that made the biggest dent and one of Hollywood's most infamous costly endeavors. Number 4. Jake Gyllenhaal's hairy knuckles. Zodiac. Cost unknown. Yep, this one's real. In what is definitely one of David Fincher's best movies, nay, one of the best movies full stop, look, I really like Zodiac, okay? Jake Gyllenhaal plays protagonist Robert Graysmith, a cartoonist at the San Francisco Chronicle, who deciphers the encrypted letters sent to the offices by the infamous real-life Zodiac killer. The film is chilling, fast-paced, menacing, and fantastically acted, with each of the leads being the studio's first choices for their respective roles. That being said, Fincher wasn't sure Gyllenhaal was totally perfect for the part in appearance, and went away during post-production to digitally add hair to the actor's knuckles for the close-ups where he's seen holding the letters. According to Fincher, he found the actor's hands appeared too hairless and pretty. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is really pretty, but come on, is the hair necessary? Number 3. Everything about the Snyder Cut. Justice League. $70 million. The theatrical version of Justice League was a nightmare to make behind the scenes. Outside of the script rewrites and troubled shooting, director Zack Snyder had to step down from his role following a personal tragedy, and he was replaced by Joss Whedon, who changed much of what Snyder had put in motion, including adding a lighter tone, more humor, and less world building. The film was released to poor reviews, and after years of fan backlash, WB finally decided to let Snyder have another crack at the project for reasons I don't think I will ever understand. Known as the Snyder Cut, or now officially Zack Snyder's Justice League, the film is reported to cost $70 million, excluding marketing. Snyder's reshoots will allow fans to see more of Flash and Cyborg, Big Bad Darkseid, and his signature superhero tone. But the theatrical cut already cost Warner Brothers a massive $300 million to make, meaning as a whole, the project has cost close to $400 million to make. Number 2. A B. Arthur t-shirt. Deadpool. $10,000. Ryan Reynolds and 20th Century Fox really pulled no punches when it came to finally getting Deadpool made after years of planning and anticipation. Amongst its crazy marketing campaigns in the build-up to the film's release, it was revealed that star and producer Reynolds had spent $10,000 to have B. Arthur's face on a t-shirt at the beginning of the film. In the comics, Wade Wilson is a major B. Arthur fan, frequently watching reruns of Golden Girls on repeat. About the decision to spend the money, Reynolds said that, quote, "There's no Deadpool without B. Arthur," and so 10 grand was paid for the rights to use the late actress's image in the film. The money went to a charity of Arthur's estate's choice and ended up in the hands of the Ali Forney Center, one of Arthur's favorite charities that helps homeless LGBTQ+ youth. And number 1. Lots and lots of cocaine. The Blues Brothers. Cost unknown. One of Hollywood's most infamous budget stories, John Landis's The Blues Brothers is said to have spent a small fortune on cocaine during the film's production. According to star and writer Dan Aykroyd, the drug was used as a quote-unquote reward for the cast and crew after a day of work and for stimulation during nighttime shoots. The actor also said of the film's behind-the-scenes dealings that the cocaine was purchased as part of the film's miscellaneous budget, and that every other crew in the city did something similar. Reporters also state that at one point John Landis found a mountain of the stuff in John Belushi's trailer, and whilst Aykroyd has stated that he himself was not a user, he said Belushi's drug use had nothing to do with the brilliant and iconic performance he gave in the movie. The total money spent on the drugs in the Blues Brothers is not known, but given how frequently it was used on set, according to Aykroyd, it can be assumed it wasn't cheap. But hey, at least we now know what was fueling everyone who was chasing them throughout Chicago. Jesus.